Oh, you guys are here. So we've got some fans who have come to visit me here and ask me a few questions about the big game ahead. Looking forward to seeing what the questions are and looking forward to answering them for the fans. As CSK fans, can you tell me what you're expecting for the up-and-coming game against SRH?
So the match we played against SRH in Hyderabad, I remember even though the total was slightly lower, our bowlers had run them really close. So now with home advantage, with the fans, with home conditions, I'm sure our team is going to rock it.
For me, it's Tala Darsanam, whistle ported, and victory on our side.
Love that.
So we have been such a team that we have always made it through the playoffs. I'm just expecting that we win the rest of the games, get into the playoffs, aim for our 6th cup.
So we are waiting for you to meet in the field, sir.
Brilliant, I look forward to that. First and foremost, I just want to thank you guys so much for making time to come and see me today to discuss the big game against SRH. Let's hit it off. Who's got their first question?
As we know, SRH lost to RCB, but they are someone who are focused on getting those big scores, 250s, 280s. So I would like to just get an insight into the preparations going into this big match on Sunday.
Yeah, as you say, it was an interesting loss, the last game for SRH. They've obviously been in very good form, especially with the bats. So it's good that they've sort of slightly lost a little bit of momentum. Looking into the preparation for us coming into this next game, I think not a lot changes for us. We're going to take a little bit of the things that we learned from the last game and try and attack them accordingly for the next game.
Yeah, so is there any schedule, a particular schedule or diet that the players have on the day of the match?
I think that's an interesting question because everyone's diet or their schedule and preparation before every match is different. I know a lot of guys do like sleeping until quite late because most of the games are late night games. They try and conserve the energy till later in the evening. Personally, I know I like to have quite a fair few carbs before the game starts because I know that I'm going to be hopefully using a lot of energy before the game. As we all know, it's very hot here in Chennai, so taking in a lot of food and water before the game is very important. So I'm sure most of the guys will be relaxing throughout the day as much as possible and taking in as much food as possible too. So I've also seen a couple guys do what's called primer sessions, which is like a light gym session leading into a game just to activate their bodies.
So can you give us some brief insights into the team meetings which happen for CSK before any match?
That's a very easy question because there is literally a team meeting 5 minutes before the bus leaves where the coach, Stephen Fleming, will announce the team for the day, wish the boys all the best, and that's pretty much it. I know MS and Stephen Fleming like short meetings, keeping it brief, keeping it simple, and keeping it clear for the players.
So if you could put yourself in the shoes of a coach, what advice would you have to the CSK bowlers against the batters of SRH?
Yeah, I think it's very important, as you say, SRH have been playing really well with the bat. So if I was in Stephen Fleming's shoes, the advice that I'd give to our bowlers is to try and get early wickets. As we've seen in the past few games, they've been very powerful within the power play. So if we can look to get 2 or 3 wickets within that power play and try and put them on the back foot, it'll be beneficial for CSK, especially for the bowling unit.
So though you have such a good bonding with all the players, your bonding with Rituraj is quite something special that we have seen on social media. So what has impressed you the most in him? The captaincy, the batting, so what has impressed you the most in him this season?
You're definitely quite right. I've got quite a special bond with Ritu. Sharing the opening partnership with him in previous years was obviously a great honour. We all know what a class batsman he is. So for me, I've been very fortunate. I think the best thing for him so far is obviously taking on that captaincy role. I can only imagine how much pressure he would feel to captain CSK with the amount of fan base that we have and the pressure that comes with it.
Exactly.
So I think he's managed that role pretty well. I think thankfully for him, he's got MS Dhoni, Ajinkya Rahane, Jadu, very experienced guys around him who he can lean on. And he's obviously performed quite nicely with the bat as always. So that certainly complements his captaincy and his experience going forward. One thing I do have to ask him to get better at is winning coin tosses.
So, what about your thoughts on our young 42-year-old wicketkeeper performance so far?
I think it's been special so far. As you say, 42 years old, still young. One thing that I've admired is the fact that he hasn't been dismissed in the IPL as of yet. And he's been striking at an incredible strike rate. Cast my mind back to one of the earlier games. As we can see, that catch that he took off Daryl Mitchell, diving to his right, shows that he's still very athletically fit and capable to do a very good job for CSK.
And we have seen MS have post-match conversations with all the youngsters, be it our CSK team or the opposition team. We have seen him have a lot of post-match conversations with the youngsters. So do you feel that the post-match conversation that he has with the youngsters is going to be a learning curve for them?
Yes, certainly. I think it's very beneficial, not only for the youngsters of CSK, but also the players that are playing against them. I have noticed over the last couple of years the amount of times players from other teams are always getting around him and asking him for advice. Personally, I've lent on him in the past and spoken to him about how I can improve my batting and ways to attack bowlers. So, just taking on the experience that he has and him passing it on is pretty admirable for a young guy, being able to speak to him openly and get the advice from him. So it's certainly helping not only the CSK players, but all the young players playing within the competition.
What's your favorite memories while playing in Chepak so far, sir?
I think one of my favorite memories was probably the recent one of Rituraj Gaikwad scoring that 100 in the previous game. I think watching that live, I'm very grateful that I was there to watch it. I think it was one of the better T20 knocks that I've ever seen. The way he went about his business, the way he started, the way he capitalised throughout those middle periods was a fantastic knock on an arguably quite slow wicket. And also that partnership that he built with Shivam Dubey was very, very special to watch. So it was full of fireworks and probably one of the memories that I'll keep on for a long time.
It's bad luck for CSK to have lost that match.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. I think we'd put on a very competitive total.
Until the 18th over, I think the match was in our hands, and the last 2 overs, it flipped over.
Yeah, certainly. I think, unfortunately, Dew played a role against us. The ball, speaking to the guys after the game, the ball was pretty wet from the dew, and it was obviously quite hard to handle for the bowlers. So, a little bit disappointing that we didn't get on the right side of that result, but the guys played good cricket, and we can take the momentum into the future games.
That's right. As you say, failures are stepping stones for success. Probably will bounce back in the next game with SRH.
Exactly. I think that's one of the plus sides to CSK's mindset around losses is it's always an opportunity to learn. So I'm sure the guys will take the learnings from that last game and bounce back in the next game.